Seven. Alright. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. I don't remember the last time I was on here. But it's interesting. I don't know how your monitor that you're using, your phone, your computer, your TV, whatever you're watching this YouTube on, shows, but I've got like 3 different color lights. So if you have a high res, you probably don't really care. But to me, I'm like, it's showing up as I'm being live that these lights are horrible. Anyways, so welcome to my Wise One channel. I am your host, Lady Caren, and I really appreciate you joining me on my morning coffee. I've been up for over an hour, 2 hours, and I've gotten nothing done. Nothing. Email. Yeah, I guess that's something if you clear out like so many emails. It is gorgeous out, North America. I'm at towards the East Coast. Yeah, it's of North America. We have probably a lot of places do, but we have interesting weather. But right now it's been heat advisory, thunderstorms, not like over 100, I don't think. I think maybe it got to 100, but I'm not entirely sure. And it's summer, and I need to get rid of stuff. So I'm trying to do a yard sale. Yeah, no, I didn't prep for it. I tried to do it last week. I didn't prep for it. I'm like, no, we are doing it. I don't care if it's a crappy yard sale and nobody buys anything. The fact that I'd be doing the yard sale stuff is important. Yeah, I just have this dream of doing yard sales, and past years I've done them, but the dream of what a yard sale is to host it for me, and and as a buyer, I'm just trying to get from being the buyer in a yard sale to hosting a yard sale. I like thrift, and I like how it works it's a very valuable, economical thing, and I don't want it to go away. I want people to thrift. I love thrift. I mean, you get a rise out of it. Like shopaholics go, oh, this is pretty and shiny and new, and you come home and you unbox it. When you find a deal at a yard sale, and you find a treasure, and you find that kind of thing, and you keep it out of the landfill and you make good use of it, that's healthy. If you bought it at a yard sale because it was cheap and the price was amazing, but it sits in your house and collects dust. That is, and it never goes anywhere, and the story stops. It just that's sad. It's just like when you buy something shiny and new and it sits in your house and it just goes to the landfill. It's just sad. So to me, I mean, like, our lives are stories and our lives are experiences, and the stuff isn't our life, but when our stuff can represent a story, that's worth telling, worth remembering, worth filling you up, coloring your life, it allows that vibrant passage that may or may not be remembered to exist, and it's worth it. It's so much better. I mean, yeah, that's what I want, is that our stuff to tell our stories, to exist, in its beauty. Like we have art, we have, new cool stuff. It's just but, I mean, there's more to it. I mean, that llama's sitting there because it represents something to a member of the household. There's a story behind why would we have a llama. It's not just to have a llama. There's a like to it. There's a, you know, there's an expression to it. I mean, if I said there's calendar, you know, if you guys notice, my location changes all over the house. The calendars change all over the house. And it's not just the picture of the calendar from month to month. No, my dad, I'm like, it's a thing where I'm in a relationship and we go through and significant other points out a calendar. I'm like, I ain't ever buying a calendar because my dad gets like 3 or 4 at Christmas for like each person. That's the story of my dad. My dad gets calendars. He's he gets them from work. He gets them from the store. I mean, he just picks them up at these insurance companies. Like I don't know how it comes to be, but every year there are like 3 or 4 calendars. Like, oh, okay. So it's something that I used to take for granted until one year I must have. I don't ever remember it, but I must have told him, "Oh no, I don't want a calendar. Guess when I'm gonna get or something because we didn't get a calendar." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, wait, what? You don't know what you don't have until you, or what you do have until you don't have it anymore." And I'm like, "I life without a calendar. It's an experience and it's a story, and I want my stuff to continue its story, to continue its journey. Because I used to read these books where, once in a while, where it would tell about this object, this shoe that was worn, by this kid. He played, he jumped, he made great memories. And then it went on to this other thing, or what was it? It's a great Bible story that I love about something in a magical coat, multicolored coat or something. It's the concept I love, that the facts, lots of you guys, you know, enjoy this kind of thing. But yeah, the journey, the fact that this stuff has meaning. And if it doesn't, it needs to go where it belongs. I mean, there needs to be a flow. And I love the minimalist, and there's nothing wrong with minimalist. And that would be great. So what I want, instead of it to going straight into the landfill, and somebody who can't afford normally to get that one thing that could just make the difference in their life, like a salad cutter changes their life. It's so easy to cut vegetables. And now I'm like, it, you know, I am cooking, and there's got to be like 30 people that get this salad slicer vegetable cutter, and it just sits in their kitchen collecting dust. But that one person out of 30 who it changed their life, now they eat healthy, and they've got the body that they want, where they have the energy that they need, and they got it from a yard sale. It's just like, I spent $5 on this thing and it changed my life. Not every item that you sell at a yard sale or that you buy from a yard sale has these stories, but they have different stories. I mean, just I remember the yard sale dog. I mean, like, yard sales are a part of my culture of growing up, and thrifting is, it gives me that dopamine, that ooh feeling, that I like it, and I want to create it. And I know I need to do it so that I have the experience of learning what I need to do more of, what I need to do less of. And, if I have this pretty little vision of hosting and creating the things that I love so that it's more sustainable instead of just, one end of it, of just the consuming end of it, then I know it's there's more to it. The unseen is just as important to me as the seen parts. I love fulfilling the unseen part of life. Like, you move into this house, and I sit there and I think about the people that built this house, what it took to get it here, people who designed the house, people who had started. I mean, we went from, was it Paleolithic times, I want to say? I don't have it in front of me, so out of saying something, like, I have the facts, but to say it isn't always the same as, like, printed out. Sorry, I want to say, Paleolithic times where we were not domesticated, we were not civilized. I mean, how did, houses, normal, what you see as a house now, that's just the expectation. It's like a lot of people treat it like that's always the way it was, it's always the way it will be. This is what we expect out of a house. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It'd be square. I mean, what happened to the round houses or the long houses or the teepees, the reed houses, the caves, we went from who knows what to this. I mean, it's part of the journey of mankind, our innovations, the fact that we went from that to this, our normal. And you think about that, and you sit there and think about the unseen things that we put together. I mean, you clean a house or you clean something, but then you think about the unseen parts, sit there and build up. Like, there was one house that I cleaned, and I was like, oh yeah, it's time to change your air filter for your furnace. And they're like, well, how often do you do that? I was thinking it was once or twice a year. Somebody's like, yeah, you do it every 3 months, and it changes the quality of your air. You don't really see it. You don't really think about it. A lot of people who have so many things to do, don't think about vacuuming out their air vents that are on the floor that you walk in. I mean, like, you vacuum your floor, you sweep your floor, you mop and do all the things that you need for the flooring, for the carrying of the flooring, and you realize how much dirt you take, how much of the dirt collects in your floor vents. A lot of people don't think about it. There's a ton of people like, yeah, no, you do that. We all know that. But there are people out there just it doesn't occur to them. And then you see all the things that are like, oh wow, I didn't know that could be. Where did this ring come from? Yeah. Oh, there's a back to the earring, and there's the things that get lost. There's the other sock that the dryer ate. Yeah. So the unseen part of the world, the different perspective of how things are made, how things were created, how things got to be to where they are like now and today. I just think about, those kind of things, and that's what hosting the garage sale means to me. I mean, I love garage selling, but I want to get this stuff out. I want to create a flow. The stuff that comes in, other stuff comes out. And economically, until I can be more self-sustainable, I need to create income with that so I can replace. For me, it's to replace the clothing and stuff. So jobs help you pay the bills, but economically, the way this inflation is going, interest rates, the affordabilities, normal people are like, oh, I get money, and they get paid, and they got those stimuluses and all that other stuff, and they don't, and it's a big thing, and then they don't realize the small little chips away that they're like, oh, I gotta pay this, and this, and I went and got that, and like, it's whereas other people don't have that problem. There could be depression era type households, economic households, and every household is different. I'm not going to umbrella what the household is like. It's just like, so to make ends meet, clothing, little knickknacks, things that just make life easier, grabbing another knife, another scissors. You don't think about how much that is, but it's like a nickel and dime way, like a little this, a little that. And some incomes just don't support that. So if you generate by getting rid of the things that you don't need and repurposing it to something that somebody else might enjoy more, then, that's that in itself, where it has a purpose, it has value, and it has, because if you think about it, somebody got paid to sit there and think the color of something, to think the name of something, to think all these products, they came from somebody. They all have a story of a person who did so. Even to the guy who thought, nice furniture should be affordable and, you get your cardboard knockoffs instead of your solid oak tables. And then everybody in America has, a place to have dinner. And then now we have family dinners as a cultural thing in our society. That's, the value of sitting down with your family, building, relationships with your family around a dinner table, because somebody thought it should be affordable to have a nice place to sit and eat, or to have furniture. I mean, somebody had these ideas. These ideas came to fruition. And you really don't know what you have until you don't have it anymore. If it can be economically, if we look at some of the ways things are going, and the most interesting videos that seem to keep popping up on YouTube. uh, just like we lose those valuable pieces of our history, and then we don't learn our lessons of how it came to be in the first place. Then we don't have it, and we have to figure out how to regenerate it, and I don't want it pushed out. I want I don't want it just to be collected into the house and be useless. I mean, yeah, the value, how much more valuable your stuff is when you can find it. The amount of anxiety it caused me just for a pair of kitty clippers. If you're like, oh, you tell me that now. Now you got to tell me the story. So our cat needed her nails clipped because she's got that little claw, the extra claw that comes in between her toes. And it comes back around and it hooks and it digs into her foot if it doesn't get clipped. And so it had been so grown that a regular pair of clippers uh, wouldn't work. And that's what I have. That's what I found. I'm like, I know there's nail clippers for the cats, but I don't know where they are. So I went to the Dollar Tree on my way to a 5-minute event task to go clip her nails. I just had to go clip her nails. Dollar Tree didn't have it, which, $1.25 is no big deal when I have $3 in one account, $5 in the other account. I'm like, I maxed out my credit card getting a $10 pair of clippers from another store, from a regular grocery store that has everything, supermarket, super, whatever they call it, like Walmart and everything. So, but Walmart's not on the way. So I didn't have to pay Walmart price, which would have been like $5.44, because I looked it up. And I tried to get it from Walmart Plus, but they would have shipped it and it would have been like so many weeks or so many days, excuse me. And not only would have I paid extra for the shipping, but all that time, my kitty would have been in pain. I can't do that. So No. So clip like, so having too much stuff and not being able to find things affects our lives, and it built. And so I had all that anxiety because I had something lined up for afterwards. But it's that thing I have to take care of, and it's a small little thing, but it's that small little thing of taking care of a comfort of somebody who can't verbally say or speak up for themselves, like, "Hey, I need my nails clipped, I'm in pain." That speaks to the character who I am, but that kind of little bit can be easily forgotten because it's not your pain if you're, not given that kind of attention as a child and like, "Oh, I could be a narcissist." I'm like, the more often that you pay attention to somebody else's needs that's in your care, the more you build that stuff in your brain to be less narcissistic. And people, who are narcissistic or just personality wise, and I know that I'm learning it's not these are good people, these are bad people, these are psychotic people, which they are. There's some people out there that just live their life and just, yeah, but you can change that. You can change that brain chemistry of this person and not getting the emotional needs as a child. I'm aware that the less emotional needs are met when they're a kid, the less they know how to take care of those needs as an adult. So I work to pay attention to the needs of those in my care because it's just that's the sheer practice that makes the difference between I just don't want to be a narcissistic duh. And then you start to realize as the brain chemistry changes, you start to realize how much their comfort feels good, how much the kids, feel good. Like their happiness gives you a dopamine release, or everything's good and you feel better. Everything their needs are met and they're okay and they're doing well makes you feel better. And they're the first thing you think of waking up and going to bed. And you feel better about that because that taking care of their needs kind of perpetuates taking care of your needs, that take care of their needs, take care of their needs. And it perpetuates and it feels better and it builds and you grow and it feels good. I like it. I really, really, really like it. So, I don't know. It's just more of your needs get met by not being narcissistic than being narcissistic. And people just sit there and blame narcissistics, people who just don't have the skills. They just don't have it in them. They're not going to be anything but narcissistic because their needs aren't met. That just made me realize something about my argument with my fiance. That we're not going to get into. That I'm going to have to take care of personally. Uh, I can, yeah. So I'm fully realizing something, but yeah. Okay, so full circle. I have, I'm dumping this because I'm trying to get to the root of like the fact that my yard sale didn't happen last week. I want my yard sale to happen this week and just keep happening all summer between, on the summer days, at least one day a week to 2 days a week or something, depending on the weather on the summers, between Memorial Day and Labor Day. I just want yard sales, just people to notice, oh, this is like, we have an epic one down the street. Like, this person collects, like, I really looked at this year's Memorial. When was it? The last yard sale that I saw them have, and it was like lots of stuff. Like, I think they make a business out of it, and I think they just buy stuff to sell. I just wanna, sell stuff. And for me, I have this cute little off the wall, or it's not Caren. That tells me I've got like 10 minutes to get my booty off here and just get moving with getting the kids up and getting things done and getting just doing. And yeah, so I'm trying to figure out why that didn't happen, the root cause, so I can lay down the anxiety, lay down the stress, lay down the things that feel dooming, don't have physical presence, so that I'm more likely to move instead of shut down. Because I didn't understand the shutting down. Because 20-year-old me is motivated, like, get your ass up. I don't understand why anybody doesn't. Yeah, or does move, like, doesn't, like, do the things that they do it. Just like, and yeah, I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of inhibitors to doing the things I really wanted to do. I kept doing for other people. So now I'm trying to figure out what inhibits me from doing for myself. And it feels like I'm trying to change a higher hardwired type of like concrete structure and with a toothpick. Like, I'm not sure I have the right tools, but I have a feeling that I want to get, I want to learn to meet my needs for myself, to work for myself. Because that's what I want. I've always dreamed of that. And that's something I admire and want to go for because there's a core with different results. Because I want to quit playing the mahjong game where you do one thing to do another thing to do another thing. Like, I was like, I think I tried to do, it didn't work out. Bartending, to go to school to do a different, I don't know, was it interior decorating or something, some sort of dream I had in order to go to college, in order to do things. But I had to learn how to be a bartender because I didn't have any skills. One skill I had was surviving. I I had the discipline to get up in the morning and just do things I hated that made me feel like crappy and cruddy all the time. And like I spent like the possible autism thing. I spent most of my young adulthood and childhood with sensory issues where I spent most of the time just going, just do things. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, there was like described, yeah, my hair hurt. My follicle hairs hurt. It just, my whole, it just leads to a burnout, a horrible, horrible burnout. So I learned that I've got to take core actions and core values and core that perpetuates a long-term effect of changing my life. And I should have learned this as a kid. So I'm trying to teach my kids who, I'm yeah. So, like, yeah. So I'm trying to learn where my points are, where things are that cause me to just shut down completely, do nothing, and where I get the energy to do more and accomplish more. How do I work? How do I run? So how do I get results of the garage sale? Yeah. Well, start doing stuff and see what happens today. I'm like, break away at it, chip away at it, do something, do stuff. And there's this. But I'm like, but I gotta do this and I gotta do that. I gotta do all the other stuff. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll do it and go. Eee! Wish me luck. Oh, if you like, that's relatable. I mean, if what I've said meet some type of understanding, I believe it's worth hitting that subscribe button because it's probably more content like that coming. Eventually, you'll watch me do dishes. I think the thing that inhibits me from doing more dishes videos that I wish I had a camera. Which I'm like, well, if I was monetized, I'd have the money to get the camera to do the more of the dishes, to get more of the subscribers and the people that like watching me do dishes. It's like that would be me telling you to hit the subscribe button, like this video if this is something that piques your interest, that piques your understanding, that told you like yeah, and then uh yeah, comment, hit those comments because for some odd reason that's a YouTube value. Share, comment, like, subscribe, interact with this video, with this channel, with this community. Let's build something where we get a healthier organism of society, of a community, of what we are, YouTubers, because we're so much more in this content building world of YouTube than candy eating weird stuff that I've been watching my children watch. I'm like, yeah, no, Avery Adderley's not bad, but stuff is good depending on moderation. 1 or 2 episodes of Avery Adderley, not bad. Watching it for 8 hours straight, no. It's like watching Paw Patrol for like 72 hours straight now. It's no longer good. But yeah, so it's just like we are so much more like froth. I mean, froth isn't bad. What the world would be like without the fluff and the froth of entertainment. But only froth and froth entertainment. No, I want more content. I want more character in my content. I want some backbone in my YouTube. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think if I say that out loud, someday I will define it so I get the right kind of backbone in my YouTube. We are so much more than an algorithm. So let's put into the algorithm for the content we want. If this is the kind of content, interact with it. Take time out of your day. I mean, I've got 20 subscribers, which it makes me feel valuable and amazing. And I really appreciate the fact that you guys subscribed, and I love you guys. I don't know you, but I love you, and you're worth loving because you're a human being and you're a living, breathing, thinking, feeling entity of this world. You're amazing. And I really appreciate the fact that you make me feel like that. So if you haven't subscribed yet and this is your thing, subscribe, like, comment, share. It just should be able to share, I believe. I'm pretty sure there's people out there making fun of me too, just to laugh. I think people make fun of things they don't understand. Later on, it's funny because I watched Sandra Bullock talk about somebody. No, that wasn't Sandra Bullock. Was it Winona Ryder? Winona Ryder? Yeah, she was talking about there was something on there how it was TikTok or something. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, something. Some sort of social media. You guys gotta find that for me. Talk about, like, she got beat up in high school and then somebody wanted her autograph. I mean, these things that we bash, don't understand, tease. Like, we secretly just want to test it to see if it's worth. It's a horrible way to test it, though. See if it's like worth it. I mean, like, I'm sure somebody made fun of me, like, shared my Facebook, and like, yeah, And, the more it's out there, the more it PRs itself somehow. Yeah, like our perspective, the way we look at things, it can grow, change. And procrastinating. This is what procrastination looks like. This is what, like, a lot of anxiety looks like. I have to go get a table and put stuff on the table and write out a yard sale sign. It's not a scary thing. I'm scared doing it, and there's a crow looking at my house. The neighbor's roof. I want to go say hi. Get here at 7. I hear them having. Oh, there's another one. They're having their meeting on the roof of their neighbor. They used to hang out their guy's lawn when the other people lived. Used to eat all the wormies because the wormies used to attract all the moles. The mole hills, and the neighbor had like a whole ton of mole hills. Like, oh my god, there's crows. Like, I don't have a camera to show you, and this computer is not gonna. This computer camera isn't gonna do jack to show you. So, like, subscribe. Get me enough subscribers that I can monetize to get a camera. And you guys get to see my journey with the crows, along with doing ditches and all the other things. Oh my god, they're having their meeting. I am missing the daily news. The daily crow news. I love listening to crow news in the morning. It does happen around 7 o'clock. It happens. They're having one skiing, or not skiing. At where I lived. There's 3 of them that flew that way. Oh my gosh, yeah, fascinating. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go get set up and see if I can catch the end of the crow news. All right, I love you guys. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and all the things that you guys are supporting, and to watch the video. The fact that you there's like 9 crows. Okay, the fact that you guys there's a moment. The fact that you guys made it to the end of this video is amazing. Supportive. It's just wow. Okay. Love you guys. You guys have a good one. All right. Bye bye bye. La 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 la. Love you. Bye.